Say again?
Let me record.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
no, that's okay. I was thinking about it too when you were trying to find me as co-host, and I didn't want to mess you up. And then I forgot to mention it. So let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, so on number 8, we have that the measure of angle 2 equals x plus 40. This is our given. I've added the 76 over here because it's an isosceles triangle, and the y because I like to have letters and I don't want to use x because that's already been used. So now I take these two angles that I know, add them to y to make 180. I combine my like terms. To get y by itself, I have to subtract both sides, okay? And then I borrow from the 8, 10 minus 2, 8, 7 minus 5, 28. So now I know that this angle is 28 degrees. Well, remember, these are vertical angles, okay? Because they're right across from each other. So because I know that, I can then fill in that this is 28 degrees, okay? That's a big deal. Now, interestingly enough, okay, if these are vertical angles, what are these two? I know I didn't draw mine that well. What are they?
Wouldn't the other angle be 28 as well?
Yes, it is. This equals 28. I just didn't put it because I had it over here.
Evan, you know why? You're right, but you know why?
Because they're congruent.
Yes, because it's isosceles.
And they're vertical angles, right? So you're saying this one's 28. Is that what you're pointing out?
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct. This is also 28 because it's isosceles. Oof, I didn't write that very well. We're having a good writing day. There we go. Now, what is angle 2? If these are vertical, what are these two? If you're typing in the chat, I can't see it, so you have to say it.
They're not typing.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Go back to the notes that I gave you in the period. What do you know about vertical angles?
Remember these two?
That's what you should know is that vertical angles are congruent. Okay, and vertical angles are across from each other. They're on the opposite end. So in this case, and measurement of angle 2 will be congruent to 28.
Does that make sense? Because these are vertical angles as well. These are actually the same, okay? So we can say now, because we know the measure of angle 2, in this case, we simply replace it with 28, and then we solve for x. What do I do to solve for x?
Start by subtracting 28 to 40.
Well, I want to keep the x over here and the 28 over here. So yes, I could move that, but then you have 0 over here. And I want to keep my constants on the left and my variables on the right.
Yeah, if you want 40 to disappear, how can you make the 40 go away?
Subtract 40.
Yes.
That's right, from both sides. If I do it to one, I do it to the other. 8 comes down. Can I take this way though? Now we have to be careful. We're taking 40 like we owe $40. So this is the smartest way to do it. You simply say, okay, 28 minus 40, which will give you the negative 12 you want. And some of you might be like, but you can't have a negative angle. Remember, we're not solving for an angle, we're solving for x. And if angle 2 is 28 and x is being added to 40, we got to reduce that 40 down to make it 28. So that is correct. Any questions about that?
And notice first we use the triangle sum theorem, which is 76 plus 76 plus y equal to 180. That's the sum theorem. And then from there, we use vertical angles to find out that the other angle would also be 28. Then we also use the isosceles triangle to find out that the other base angle will be 28. And we use the vertical angle again. So to do these problems, you have to use like about 3 or 5 ideas, put them all together to solve for the angle. Now, we can stop here and let you work, or another problem. Look at the assignment that I gave you, and you find a problem that is interesting, let us know. You say it out loud or text it to us, okay?
Can you explain number 2?
Yes, I can. Okay, so number 2, and let me see if I can remember to do it where I can show you what you need to look for, like I did yesterday. Okay, so are you still recording, Mr. Rivas?
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Okay, so we know, this is what we know. X plus 96 equals measure of angle 2. We have a straight line, a transversal. Don't be making fun of my triangles. No, they're not right. It doesn't matter that you draw it perfect. The important part is that you label them right. So we know that this angle is 114 degrees. We know that this is an isosceles triangle. And we know that this is another isosceles triangle. And we want that measurement. Okay? So first things first, we know that this is a line, which means this is what? What are these two angles together called? Do you remember? Anybody? These right here
Class, that would be a linear pair.
are a linear pair. Okay, so if I take y plus 114, I make it equal to 180. Okay. All right. What do I do to get y?
You subtract 114 to both sides.
That's right. So I take 114 and y gives me, borrow from the 8, 10 minus 4 is 6, 7 minus 1 is 6, it's 66 degrees. So this is an isosceles triangle. If this is 66 degrees, what is this one? Base angles of isosceles are what? Do you remember?
Class, those two angles will be base angles, and they will be congruent.
Okay, so if this is what is 66, then this is 66. Okay, I'm just not going to put 66 there. And we know that all triangles equal 180. So I'm going to take this information and I'm going to make this a B. I know that's weird, but I'm going to take this information and I'm going to say that I know that 66 degrees plus 66 degrees twice plus B equals 180. So I'm going to use this and bring it down here, okay, to get these three. Why do I need that? because I need to find out B to find out this one. And I'll show you that in a second, okay? So I combine my like terms, okay? 6 and 6 is 12, carry the 1, 6 and 6 is 12 plus 1, 32, plus B. And you guys know this math part, it's the setting up part that you don't know. Subtract 132 from both sides. Okay, borrow from the 8. 48 degrees. Now, why is that important? Because these are what kind of angles?
Vertical angles.
Very good. These are vertical. So if B is 48 degrees, then this one is 48 degrees. And now,
Because
look
vertical
at this,
congruent.
okay? This is an isosceles triangle. These are base angles. So guess what this angle is? Guess what that angle is? I gotta go get a different color. Anybody?
It's also 48.
That's right. So if I now take this information, okay, if I add these three up, I'll figure out what the measure, what I can figure out what X is without finding out the measure of angle B. I don't have to find out or angle 2. Okay, so I'm going to take 48 plus 48 plus angle 2, and that's going to equal 180. So these is where I got this from, okay, right here. All right, now I know that the measure of angle 2 is X plus 96. So I'm going to fill that in. And now, oops, not plus. Oh boy, time for lunch. Now I just do the math. So I'm going to, let me zoom out so you have the whole problem. I am going to combine my like terms. And there's no reason to hurt our brain. Why God gave us calculators. Thank goodness, or men to invent calculators. 96 plus 48, not discounting women, we're part of the men. That's our name. Let's make sure I did that right. 96 plus 48 plus 48 is 192. So we have X plus 190, not 96, 92. That's crazy. Okay, so now you're at a basic problem again, right? Subtract 192, X equals, well, that's a bigger number than 180. It's going to be negative. Now to get a negative, you need to take 180 minus 192, so it gives you a negative. Negative 12. And what are we after? The X, not the measurement of angle 2. So it can be negative. But I first started with my linear pair. Then I went to get my Y. I knew that that was the same as this one,
Plus the isosceles triangle.
right? And I used that information, 66 plus 66 plus B. I just made a letter. Just don't use X because we're always using X for the missing one. And made it equal to 180 and solved for B. I then knew that B, okay, this B and this B are the same as well as this one. So then I add them to angle 2 with isosceles triangle, understanding again that equals 180, and I solve for X. Okay, so this was green, this was green, as well as yellow. Does that kind of help make sense? A little bit?
Class by now is all of you should know where you begin the problem and how you make it across. That's gonna take some practice, okay? but all of you should be able to know where to start and then work our way across to the angle 2.
Okay, so let me show you without doing the math. Ask me another problem, and I'll show you like I was starting to do yesterday, I think it was. I won't fill in the numbers of what we don't know. I'll just do the step-by-step process of what we know. So which one's the next one you'd like to have me show you? Anybody? You want me to just pick one? All right, how about I do 3? Well, wait, are you giving them the odd answers?
I think, look at the bottom of the assignment.
Okay, let me look.
I'm not sure if you did odds or you did.
Yeah, you did odds. Okay, so I'll tell you what, let me do 3. I won't do the answer. We know what the answer is, but I'll show you the process of how to get there without doing all the math. Okay, so here's number 3. Oh, I had to pick one of these. Okay, I know that this is a right angle because it says so, and then I have this like this, and then I have like this. Oh boy, that's pretty bad. Okay, that kind of looks like, this is why we go by symbols, because the drawing may not match. That's okay. Okay, here's what we know. This is a right angle right here, okay? That's a right angle. We know that this is an isosceles triangle, and this is an isosceles triangle that's upside down. We know that this angle is 112, and we need angle 2 because our problem says that the measure of angle 2 equals x plus 104. Now, where do we start? Okay, we start with what we know and work our way around to what we need to know. Okay, this is a linear pair. So we need to find the other pair part, okay, of 112. So I know that a linear pair equals 180, okay? So I'm going to take y, add it to 112, and do the math. Whatever y equals, okay, I need to know that. Okay, I'm then going to use and know that this is an isosceles triangle. That means that this angle and this angle are the same. Okay, so then, and sometimes it gives you more information than you need, and that's okay, but in this case, it's not. Okay, we're going to go from, yeah, so whatever y is, this is as well. I need to know this part of the 90. Okay, so how do I do this again? Oh yeah, I have to think about it without doing the math. Okay, so my next step would be to take the yellow y plus the yellow plus, I don't know what this is, so I'm going to make it b. Okay, plus b equals 180. So this is going to go up to here and fill in those 2 spots. Okay, so this will go here and fill in the yellow. All right, you will do that math, and that's going to give you b equals something. Okay, whatever that is. Okay, b is part of 90. I need to figure out what that 90 is. Okay, This is actually a good one I did because it's kind of complicated. Okay. So I move over and I say, I know B plus, let's call it K, okay, equals 90. So I'm going to take B plus K and equal 90 degrees. And that goes up there. And I'm going to find out what K is. Okay, why do I need to know what K is? Well, because this is an isosceles triangle that's fallen over. I know it doesn't look like it, but these indicate that it is. So this angle is going to be the same as this angle. Okay? So once we find out K, whatever that is, all right, then, hold on, did I do that? Yeah. So this is going to be K. Then I know the two of the three parts of 180. Now, here's the complicated part. Oh man, I need another color. Whew, this one's a tough one. I'm glad I did this one. All right. I'm going to have to take K. And I'm going to have to go, let's go over here. Let's go over here. Whoop. Okay, moving it up. I'm going to have to take whatever K is. I'm going to have to add it to another K because there's two of them. Okay, and find out what M is plus M, and that equals 180. Okay? Why am I doing that? Because guess what M's part of? A linear pair. And once I figure out M, I can say M plus angle 2 equals 180. So this is how this works. We're going to combine these, moving up. Let me zoom out so you can see this a little bit. This one's a big one. And you're saying, what does M equal? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. And I'm going to make M orange because I know I said it's part of the linear pair. Last but not least, you're going to take M, you're going to add it to angle 2, and because it's a linear pair, you're going to make it equal to 180. Whoops, I messed up. I wasn't supposed to put in there. I was supposed to put orange there. Sorry. Okay, so this is orange. Okay. Now, we bring down orange, but remember the measure of angle 2 set up here is x plus 104. And we still need whatever this was. We need to combine like terms, and we need to solve for x, which according to the worksheet says x is going to be -12. And that's where we want to get to. Okay, so let me zoom out and I'll review. Oh, I can't zoom out anymore. Okay, let me see if I can get higher. Ooh, there we go. Love document cameras. Okay, what did we start with? We knew that the measure of angle 2 is x plus 104. We started with what we knew, angle 112. It's part of a linear pair. If I make a letter y, as long as you can use whatever letter you want, as long as you don't use x. I say avoid using, I shouldn't have used m because m is up here and I don't want you to get confused, but I say avoid using L or I and stuff like that because those get confusing because they start to look like ones. Anyway, this is a linear pair. Okay. If I take y plus 112 and add it together, I should get 180. I think it's focusing. Okay. Whatever my answer is, I need that because y is part of my isosceles two-base triangles. If I add the answer to y and the answer to y plus b together, I get 180. Okay? And I know that b is part of a 90-degree angle. So if I take b plus the other part of the 90-degree angle, k, and figure out what its value is, okay, I take away b from 90 and get k. Then I take k over here because k is a base angle of an isosceles triangle, which means there's two of those. So if I take whatever the value of k is plus the value of k again, plus m, which is the angle I don't know of that isosceles, I know they all equal 180. I then find the value of m. I know it's part of another linear pair with angle 2. I know a linear pair equals 180. So if I take the answer to m plus angle 2 to get 180, I can then fill in what I know for m, which is x plus 104, and solve for x. Does that kind of make sense?
Miss,
Yes.
do we do these exact steps for all the problems?
Unfortunately, no, because it depends on what they give you in the problem. This happened to be a very lengthy one. We had to work our way around from all the way over here to all the way over here. And we had to use everything that was part of it. Sometimes, as you've seen in the other ones, it didn't take that long.
Yeah, every problem is different. So we could tell you, do this for number 5, number 6, number 7, it'd be easy, but every problem is different. Now, in this problem, the last 2 steps, you could save them, but you have to be able to recognize exterior angles. Okay? If you use the exterior angle theorem, you eliminate the last 2 steps.
Okay, yes, that's true. So here's the other thing you could do. Let me say that. You could do this, or let me show you this. You could do, or you could go down here. I just saw it. Thank you, Mr. Rivas. I could take K plus K
Remote interior angles.
are equal to the measure of angle 2,
The exterior angle.
right? Make sense? Okay, so if I know what these are, then I can make them equal. I bring my thing down. I was looking for that shortcut, but I couldn't see it visually. Sorry, that's what happens with my geometry brain. I know the measure of angle 2 is x plus 104. So you could cut this out and skip from here all the way to here.
Yeah, the exterior angle theorem is hard to recognize it.
Yeah, it is, because it's not, it doesn't look like it's the right way, and I messed up.
But if you can recognize it, you can save some work.
Right. So this is an option. You can go from here. So you can go step 1. Let me do this. Step 1. Step 2. And this isn't the same for everything. Step 3. And you can skip to either this step 4, or you could do this step 4, which brings you to step 5. Okay, but this is huge. You could do 1 or 2 step 4s. This step 4 gets you to the answer faster. You want me to show you another one like this? And I promise I'll try and find the exterior angle this time.
What we can do is wait, let him work it.
Okay.
You know, plug in the values and solve for it and go to the next step. And then we can do another one. So I'll say we give him like about 5 to 10 minutes to solve it.
Okay.
And then if any help, we can help them and then go on to the next one.
You guys have about 18 minutes. So try and solve one, and you can solve this one. You know the answer is going to be negative 12. I can put that. X is going to be negative 12. Okay.
That's pretty good phrasing.
It's hard without doing the math.
Yeah, that's the hard thing is, and like I said, one problem becomes 1, 2, 3, or 5 problems.
Right,
4 or 5 little problems.
right.
Mhm.
And see how my brain didn't see, I was just working my way around. So,
Can you set up another problem?
yeah, which one do you want me to set up?
Um, hmm.
Yeah,
Can you set up number 7?
all right, let me look at that one. And yeah, we'll have an answer to that one, so that would work. Okay. Okay, let me draw it out. We have the measure of angle 2 equals x plus 134.
What number are you doing?
Number 7. There's an answer to that one, so I can show the steps. That's a good one. Okay, let's see if I can do this. We have this. And we have this. And we have this. And we have this. Okay, so what we know, oh, this is a good one. Okay. All right, you guys are gonna help talk me through this one. Oops, I forgot a tag. Sorry. That's important. Okay. So keep in mind, this is an exterior angle, so hopefully we can use the exterior angle theorem, okay? Which we should be able to, because it's an upside down isosceles triangle. So we have to work from what we know. Okay, now, who can tell me the significance of this angle being 60 degrees? Because it's going to save us a lot of time.
All 3 sides are 60.
All 3 angles, yes. So because this is 60, this one's going to be 60, and this one's going to be 60, which guess what? This one's going to be. Because these are vertical angles. These right here are vertical angles. So if this is 60, this is 60, and this is 60, what's this one?
60.
Right, very good. So that being the case, and this is an isosceles triangle, guess what this one's going to be?
60 as well.
Yeah, so we just saved ourselves a ton of time because now we have the exterior angle theorem. And then when you guys said, is this the same steps for all of them? No, because this one's super fun. All you have to do is now take, okay, and I'm going to change this so you can kind of, how do I do that? No, I don't have to. Okay, I'm going to take, and I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to show you, and I'm going to draw some arrows. Okay, this goes here, and this goes here. And they equal the measure of angle 2, okay? Actually, I'll write that different. They just equal angle 2. It is the measure, but I'm just going to say they equal angle 2. All right, well, we know that this is 60 and this is 60. And we know that angle 2 equals x plus 134. So now I just have to solve for x, and x ends up being, in this case, let's see, what is 7? Negative 14. So all you have to do is do the math.
Now, the reason why I don't know if you noticed that we only had to solve one problem, is because you were able to recognize that the triangle on top was an equilateral triangle. So they're all 60, 60, 60. And then using the vertical angle, you also eventually recognize that the bottom triangle was also an equilateral triangle, 60, 60, 60. So you notice we managed to save a lot of work by recognizing the equilateral triangle.
Okay, so you implemented the 260s, right?
Yep,
And then,
from here.
mm-hmm. And
Mhm.
then for the angle 2, is it the x plus 134?
That's where I got that from, yes.
Oh, okay.
I got, that's a good point. I got this from right here.
Oh, because they made it look like 60 plus 60 equals just like
Right,
angle
now you have to combine these and put it down here
Oh,
and
okay.
do the math. I didn't do the math. I'm just getting you guys set up and walking you through how to take the information they give you to then solve the problem.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And part of the challenge is being able to recognize, I mean, vertical angles, once they point up to you, it's easy to see them. But for you to recognize them is kind of a challenge. But once you learn how to recognize what you're looking at, the problem becomes easier. And the only way you can recognize some of those things is doing problems over and over and over again.
And you might say, well, why didn't they put a tick mark here and tell us that's an equilateral triangle? All equilateral triangles are isosceles triangles, but it is not vice versa. Not all isosceles triangles are equilateral. Does that make sense? And so they're asking you to figure that out by saying, well, if this is 60 degrees, oh, well, wait a minute, that's an equilateral triangle. I don't care that it's equilateral. I care that it's equiangular because all the angles are the same, because then that leads me to all this wonderful information without having to do so much math.
Yeah, and the vertical angles allows you to go from one triangle to the other one. The vertical angle is what allows you to go from one triangle to the one in the bottom.
Does that make sense? You go from this one knowing the value of this to this one because you know the value.
And once you do that, you'll probably have solved the problem already.
Right.
Okay. What time is this period over?
12:45. So you guys have about 9 minutes.
Question.
Yeah.
So if after this class ends, what if I would say I'm stuck on a question and I really just don't understand you? What can I do there? How could
You can email Mr. Rivas or myself and let us know what step you're stuck on, and we can get you started. If it's simply where to start, I could get you, I can do a drawing, or he could, and I could start it. I'm not going to necessarily lead you to the next step, but I would say step 1 is this. Can you figure out where to go from there? Because sometimes it's just a matter of getting started, and then you guys are good to go.
Yeah, I will tell you, start with a number given and using the linear angles, the angle right next to it, the number they gave you plus the angle next to it will be 180. We'll basically tell you how to solve it, how to set it up.
Mr. Rivas, is this particular assignment due tomorrow, or is this one we're going to go into next week?
The assignment itself will be due on Friday. I need to think if we should move on or spend more time on it.
Okay, well.
Because, there are some topics that even if you spend a month on it, you can only make so much progress.
Right.
So I'm debating if I should move on, and means that we come back and revisit this like once a week, or we don't move on and we spend like another week on it.
I would recommend you guys do the best you can. If you need me to show you how to set up another one to get you started, I can do that. I mean, we've done, well, he did 1, I did 2 and 3, and I just did 7 and 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. You just have to figure out the other two, how to set them up and solve them. So I think that's feasible.
What I strongly recommend is coming for tutoring.
They don't have tutoring again until Tuesday.
This morning I had 2 kids and we did 7 problems.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of things where kids are learning. And the only way for you to learn is maybe see your teacher do a lot of problems. And the only way you can have your teacher do a lot of problems is coming for tutoring. Like I said, we did 7 problems this morning and they were all from Monday's homework. So come in so I can help you. Okay. In tutoring is I don't lecture. If you want me to do problems all hour, I do problems the whole hour. Okay. So you need help, come in so I can help you.
And again, don't hesitate to email. I try and check my email over the weekend, you know, while I'm sitting wherever. This weekend is a somewhat busy weekend for me, but I will promise you to try and, I know this is due on Friday, but I would submit whatever you have and then put a note to Mr. Rivas. I'm still working on it if you get lost. I will check email tonight as well, because this is technically due tomorrow, but.
And every assignment is worth 20 points. If I were you, I will work on yesterday's assignment. You know why? There were only 3 problems.
Right.
So
you get 20 points for 3 problems.
Look at all 3 assignments that I gave you. I will focus on yesterday's because there were only 3 problems. That's 20 points. Today's assignment, what they were, I think 10 problems or 8. That's a lot of problems. So I will focus on yesterday's and then either Mondays or today's. Okay.
Oh, number 4. Okay. Oh, and Yasmin, I just got your message. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. Okay. Yasmin, try those and then ask me tomorrow. See if you can get a different number, because I have you 8. Number 4. Okay. All right, let's see if I'm going to do another piece of paper just in case I need a lot of room. Ooh, don't do that. Okay. Number 4. I'm not going to do the math, but I'm going to talk you through it, or you guys talk me through it. Okay, I have, and as I draw it, I try and see what parts I have, because it makes it easier to draw. I don't know if that makes sense, but sometimes, oh, I don't need to go that far. I'm gonna give myself a little more room. Okay, so these, because this is important. Okay, so measure of angle 2 is there. I'm gonna put that in Tim. Okay, and I know that the measure of angle 2 is 3x plus 8. All right, what do I know about this? Well, I know, and again, I would have colors, because notice how it helps when I do it in colors. Okay, I put everything in pen that I know. That's fact that they've gave me. Okay, all right, I know, and it's kind of hard to see where they put the 100, but it's right here. This is 100 degrees.
100.
Right? Okay, so that little angle there, or you could do this, because this is pretty pathetic. I drew it kind of small. You could say that this angle is 100 degrees, if that makes it easier. Yeah.
Can you zoom it in?
Say again?
Can you zoom it in?
Oh,
I can't
yes.
see it.
Sorry. There, is that better?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. All right, so I have to get from what I know, which is this is a 100-degree angle, this overall is a 90-degree angle, to angle 2. Okay, well, the first thing I noticed about angle 2 is it's part of a vertical angle. Well, that's good news for me, because if I look at this triangle here, it's isosceles, and the two base angles are the same, which means whatever I find out this is going to be that, is going to be that. So that's exciting for me. So now let me work backwards. I need to know these two angles. I don't know them, but I know part of it. So I'm going to say to myself, if I take, because I have to find out this one and this one, I'm going to take 100 degrees plus, and let's make these y and y, plus y plus y equals 180. Okay? Now, once you solve for y, okay, you're going to take it up here, and you know that y plus, let's make this k, all right, equals 90. So once you solve for k, let's make it pink. Okay, you know that k is the same as this one, which is the same as this one. So now all you have to do is take whatever k is, the measure of angle 2 equals 3x plus 8. You're going to fill in the measure of angle 2, okay, here. And solve for x. And I don't know what x is on this because he only gave us odd. So there's your drawing. Okay, we went from finding out the the y, transferring it to here to add the k to make 90. We know that k is part of the base of the isosceles triangles. We know that these are vertical angles. So whatever k is, 2 is. It transfers through. So we take that k and we replace it for the measure of angle 2 and make it equal to 3x plus 8 and solve for x.
Now in this case, the problems, the number they gave you is an easy number. You can, some of you are very smart, you can do actually the math in your head. Can you move your paper down a little bit, Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you look at the bottom triangle, the 100 plus y should give you 180. So 100 plus what will give you 180?
Question, would it be the same for the other triangle on top of it?
Say that again.
Would it be the same triangle on the other one? Would they
No.
both equal 180?
Well, yeah, this one will equal 180 as well, but I don't need to know that for this one.
The other angle, you don't need to know the vertex angle.
I just need to find out, what I'm trying to find out is this one because I know it's part of a 90. So what he's saying is if you take 100 away from 180, you have 80 left. Well, you have to split that evenly between these two.
That'll be 40 and this will be 40.
Right, so then 40, you subtract that from 90, and you take that answer, and that's your measure of angle 2.
That'll be 50, that'll be 50.
Right? So if you know that, then all you have to do is substitute in for the measure of angle 2 and find x.
Okay, class, the period has ended already. Have a nice weekend and thank you very much.
Email us if you have questions.
Yeah, email us, okay? See you on Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, thank you.